We open in some other dimension where Ace Rimmer is on a James Bond-esque adventure where he has to rescue a princess.
You expect me to concede?
No, Mr. Rimmer, I expect you to die.
Oh, and the bad guy has a pet alligator. Because why not? He also gets an epic new theme song. Anyway, Ace is left in an airplane that's about to crash with a bomb in it while fighting an alligator. So how does he get out of it? Ace Rimmer sky surfing on an alligator. Your argument is invalid.
See you later, alligator!
What a guy. He stops them from killing the princess, but he takes some damage as well.
This is my best top, damn it!
Princess Bonjela, Ace Rimmer. There'll be time for explanations later, and hopefully some sex.
What a guy.
But of course he rescues her, because he's Ace. Oh, and in case you wondered what happened to that alligator.
Was für ein Kerl.
Indeed. Meanwhile, back on Red Dwarf, Lister is going into an AR game, and remember how he liked to play Gumshoe? Same thing, basically, only with cheat codes.
Seducing the Queen of Camelot? I'm ashamed to be with you, sir. I haven't been this embarrassed since I was loosening my adjustment screws and my entire groinal box dropped into Mr. Rimmer's soup.
I would love to see that. I'm actually not sure why Crichton is there too, but his reactions are priceless.
And you are, sir?
Lister of Smeg.
The King is great in this. He plays it so seriously.
You accept this challenge from Lister of Smeg. What prize do you claim if you should defeat my best knight?
I claim, my lord, a night and a day in the bed of your good lady.
We accept the challenge.
The Queen is like, sure, I'll hit that.
When my lace handkerchief flutters onto the ground, the challenge shall commence.
I just love that accent.
I wonder how many fans say that about Lister. Anyway, Lister uses a cheat code to win.
I claim my prize, my lord.
Your scheme to seduce my fair lady will not succeed!
And then another. Stay classy, Lister. Also remember, someone had to program that into the game.
Has anybody got any whipped cream?
And I still love that king. By the way, he's an accomplished Shakespearean actor who is also in Braveheart. I love it when actors like that show up on Red Dwarf. Ah, there's a sight. Anyway, the game stops because Red Dwarf's power goes down.
The last time we came across a lunatic trying to pull a stunt like this, it was Captain Smug Git himself, Ace Rimmer. Dear God, don't make it be him. I couldn't bear it.
Well, I said I'd be back for breakfast. How are those kippers doing, fellas?
Sorry, Rimmer.
According to the log, we're down to our last 3,000 vomit bags. It'll never be enough.
And now Ace has boarded the ship.
What have you been up to, sir?
Nothing special. Saved a couple of universes, overthrown a few dictatorships, turned down a heap full of marriage proposals, and had my highlights done.
What a guy!
That face about says it all. Ace wants to have a word with Rimmer, but he declines, in pure Rimmer fashion.
Thanks for the offer, but I'd rather smear my genitalia with fish paste and dangle them in a pool of hungry piranhas.
I'll take that as a no, then.
Remember he asked for you? He obviously feels some sort of bond.
The only bonding I want to do with him involves a tube of superglue and a rabid hamster.
But the rest of the crew talks him into it.
Oh, all right, I'm going.
Wow, Rimmer is really at his Rimmeriest in this episode.
Okay, allow me to show you to your sleeping quarters. They're about 50 yards down there on the right. Bye.
But Ace isn't looking too good.
I may need some help here, Aunt.
Of course, Rimmer is an ass about it at first, but then it gets kind of heavy.
Sorry to sound so damn melodramatic, but afraid I'm on the way out.
You're dying. You got it, Arn.
So yeah, Ace wants Rimmer to become the next Ace.
The universe needs a chap to look up to. Someone to right wrongs. And just generally be brave, handsome, and all-around magnificent.
And that goes about as well as you would expect.
It's your destiny, Arnie.
Once again, Rimmer knows himself better than anyone.
You're just afraid, old son. Afraid that you're not good enough. You've always wanted to play the hero.
I'm not you. I think we established that in your last visit.
I'm not the Ace you met last time, Arnie.
So Ace reveals something interesting. It turns out that there wasn't just one Ace, and this one is a hologram.
Lightbeat's been hit pretty bad. It's a power leakage.
Anytime an Ace was about to die, he'd find a Rimmer from another dimension to take up the mantle.
I haven't got long. About the time I usually like to spend making love. Say 12 hours, maybe less. After that, I'll be too weak to train you. What do you say?
Nope. Anyway, Ace relays the story to Lister in hopes that he can help to convince Rimmer.
Skipper, you can't judge a book by its cover.
And you can't confuse Rimmer with a book. For a start, a book's got a spine.
Good one. So Lister does what he does best, mocks Rimmer.
Oh, it's just you know, the next ace. The very idea.
It's not so ridiculous, Lister.
Of course, it's reverse psychology,
Most eunuchs have got more balls than you.
and it works.
I've taken Ace up on his offer, and training begins right now.
Oh, Rimmer, you're so gullible. So Ace begins training him using the AR machine. This thing really is Red Dwarf's answer to the holodeck, with way worse graphics.
Be the cougar running free and unfettered through the mountains. See the cougar, Annie? It's you. Can you see it?
It's a start? So Rimmer is about to give up, but Ace isn't letting him off that easy.
It's now or never.
What's that?
Light be remote.
His next test is to fool the rest of the crew into thinking he's Ace. I don't know why, but I love how the remote changes everything but the hair, so he has to wear a wig. Yeah, that's a good look.
The name's Rimmer.
So now Chris Berry is playing Rimmer doing a bad Ace impression, and it's amazing.
You sound a little different.
Can you be more specific?
67% more Weasley.
Listen, you stupid, jumped-up little son of a... Oh, sorry, old friend. Afraid not. Catch you later.
Anyway, a knight from the game Lister was playing steps into reality to come after Lister, which...
Now, wait a minute, old friend. Let's just stay calm, shall we?
I'd complain about how that doesn't make sense, but as you'll see in a minute, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, he settles for going after Rimmer and a sword fight ensues.
Let's talk about this, shall we? Over a pot of tea and some toasted muffins?
And Rimmer stays in character as Ace the entire time. Anyway, he eventually just goes smeg and goes for a bazookoid.
My God. I did it.
After he leaves, the knight gets up, reveals that the bazookoid had blanks in it, and that it was actually Lister.
I did it.
It's kind of adorable how Rimmer is so proud of himself.
Well done, honey.
But
You've done us proud. Smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for...
And that's it for the previous Ace.
What's happened to goalpost head?
No.
Watch Rimmer's reaction. He isn't sad so much as horrified, because with the previous Ace gone, he now is Ace. Fortunately, Lister shows up just in time.
One of the knights has escaped from the AR machine. It's killed Rimmer. Isn't that right, Ace?
As much joking as there's been about how none of them would care if Rimmer died, now that it's happened, for all intents and purposes, they're still going to give him a decent send-off. Meanwhile, Rimmer isn't sure what to do and is thinking about staying on Red Dwarf.
Get the hang of the character, as it were.
But Lister has something that will take Ace's coffin to a specific place.
You have some more beacons behind for the aces that follow you.
I'm getting cold feet, Listy. I'm not sure I can go through with it.
In any case, Ace had suggested that Rimmer follow the coffin to see where it went because it might change his mind.
It's my destiny to be a smug, self-satisfied git.
But you can be a different kind of ace.
You can be a different kind of git. Afterwards is Rimmer's funeral. I just noticed that the podium where Crichton is standing has a big H on it. I guess we're not going to see that symbol again for a while. Naturally, it's kind of snarky in the beginning.
On occasion, he was a small-minded, bureaucratic, incompetent, cowardly little person.
I love that Lister's tie is just a piece of black duct tape stuck on his shirt. Even Rimmer's blow-up doll is there for the occasion. But toward the end, everyone is fairly respectful. I mean, you know, considering the show and everything.
See you, Smegger.
Later, bud.
Goodbye, Mr. Smeek.
When Rimmer originally died aboard Red Dwarf, Holly brought him back as a hologram to keep me sane. Never an easy task. He succeeded spectacularly.
That's debatable.
Place First Officer Rimmer's decoration into the coffin.
But they promote him to First Officer, which honestly kind of makes me tear up.
Gentlemen, First Officer Rimmer.
First Officer Rimmer.
Aww. So Starbug follows the coffin through the wormhole, revealing this amazing shot. which makes Rimmer realize that he's a part of something much bigger than he could have imagined.
They all did it. Are you really going to be the one to break the chain?
Cut to Rimmer having accepted his role as this dimension's ace, about to go on a new adventure.
Stoke me a clipper. I'll be back for Christmas. Whatever.
Title drop. But yeah, he's still Rimmer.
Just had to say one last goodbye.
Aww.
See you, David White.
Yeah, good luck, man.
And so ends Stoke Me a Clipper. So, Season 7 is a little hit or miss for me, but damn if it doesn't start off really strong. First Tika to ride and now Stoke Me a Clipper. As you can probably tell if you didn't know already, this episode really did write Rimmer out of the show. Red Dwarf is a really difficult show to film, especially at this point in the series where every episode was treated like a mini-movie. And Chris Berry was just getting kind of burned out. Plus, he was on another successful series at the time that was a lot easier to film and decided to focus on that for a while. This isn't the last time we see Rimmer. He shows up in flashbacks and dream sequences and such in the next few episodes, and technically a spoiler, but Rimmer comes back for good in Season 8. I mean, if you've been watching these videos, you already know that since I've shown stills from later seasons and Rimmer is in them, so... But even knowing that, it's kind of heartwarming that they wanted to give Rimmer and Chris Berry a proper send-off. And it's bittersweet, because in the beginning we see the insanely heroic things he'll be expected to do, and who knows if he's really ready for that. Plus, this is the last appearance of Ace Rimmer, so far anyway, so this Rimmer's fate is completely unknown. It's also interesting to see Rimmer and Ace play off each other in a slightly less immature way than in Dimension Jump. Rimmer still makes a couple of homophobic remarks, but there are serious moments too. I really like this bit.
I'm not you. I think we established that in your last visit.
It really puts his whole inferiority complex into perspective, not to mention how happy he seems to be later on when Ace tells him he did a good job. And even though it all happens in one episode, it's nice to see some major character growth in Rimmer. He goes from abject coward to potential hero, and he and Lister seem to make things right. Lister actually helps him out, and Rimmer gives him a hug before he leaves. And again, there's a lot of weight in this one. The end of Rimmer's funeral, as silly as the Rimmer salute is, seeing all of them doing it in his honor is genuinely heartwarming. And the image of millions of previous aces forming a ring around a planet is just an amazing thing to see. Godspeed, Rimmer. Next up is Ouroboros. See you then.
Bring me this knave's manhood on a silver platter.
Hey, steady.
Then disembowel him and feed his innards to the crows.